Hi, this is Nehal Kazim, and this is the Ad Tips for Ad Pros podcast, where we teach entrepreneurs and marketers how to grow their businesses with direct response advertising. And today I want to share with you the fifth step of the ad method, which is the ad. Most people, when it comes to the ad, there's so much emphasis on ad optimization, or sometimes with the offer or the funnel, they forget about testing the ad. And so I want to share two main things that we're testing when it comes to the ad and what to focus on when you're optimizing your Facebook ad. So the first thing is the actual elements of a Facebook ad. So usually what it means on your Facebook ad, there is the copy, there's some sort of media, and there is link descriptions or any kind of headline in order to get people to the next step, depending on the type of ad that you're using. So let's break those three down first. When it comes to your description, which is the section right above your main media, whether you're using a photo or a video or just a link ad, a lot of opportunity is there, because when it comes to your description, there's a few things that you can do. First of all is, how are you starting that ad? Is it a question? Is it a polarizing statement? Is it just one sentence and that's it? How are you starting that ad? That's step one. But second is, what is the length of that ad? And if you're not testing that length, that might be something to consider. Most people get really attached to one type of description type. So what I mean by that is, they'll either keep it super short, it'll be one sentence, and it's like, listen, this has worked for us in the past, and that is what we do around here. And so that's usually where things end up. But what I challenge you to do, if you've only been using long form ads, which means, there's levels of long form, but for us, it's anywhere between 75 words to 125, that's like long form. Then there's even longer form, which is 150 to 300 words, where it's pretty much a blog post. And there's ads I've seen that are 500 to 1,000 words as well, that have worked really well for some people. And you can see the distinction where some people are, and some advertisers are just using 5 words, 7 words as the description, and that's it. And when I talk about 75 words or 300 words, it's a shock to their system. And so the thing that you want to consider here is, if you have been using the same description structure, it might be time to actually test that and optimize for that. So the first thing is understanding what are the things that you can optimize, which is the description text, the media, and the headlines. And then from there, just for the description, are you just using the same type of structure that you've always used, if it's just long form, just short form, etc. So that'll be the first thing to actually test your assumption. Then with the media, most people don't know, and we're going to talk about this in a second, that there's different ad types. And with the images or the video that you're using, there isn't a lot of testing that's going on there. That means that most people will just stick to humans. If they use photos, for example, they'll only do people who are real life. But what we started doing is, we were around people who were trying a lot of different things, and that's contagious, right? Because they're trying so many different things, it leads to us trying a lot of different things. So here's what I'd suggest for you. Instead of just trying humans, try something that is animated. And so it might not be on brand in the initial stages, or you might not know how to do it because it's a new thing, but animated images have gone very far for us, because for whatever reason, they have a different engagement level on Facebook. And this is animation of just icons, and as well as animations of people. So that's something to consider testing. Then when it comes to different video styles, there's a lot more options there, whether you're doing just kinetic style versus you're doing storytelling of like those viral videos. If you're doing testimonials, there's a lot more there. We're not going to go into that topic too much on this video or in this episode. But what I will say is, with your media, how much stability has there been of the testing, what you're doing with your graphic or your videos? And what I'd like to challenge you with is, if you've just been doing the same type of photos or the same type of video, now might be the time to actually change that up and do something radically different, and see what the difference is when it comes to your CTR of your overall ads, CTR of your click, your CPCs, and then how all of that relates into your rest of the funnel. And what you would want to watch here is what happens to your relevance scores as you're implementing these different changes, whether it's at the description level or the media level. Next is the headline and how you're doing that. Depending on the type of ad you're doing, if you're doing carousel ads, there's different limitations of what you can do. But my point of bringing up the headline is, how are you setting up the headline? Are you going in just for a call to action? Is that a question? Is that a directive of like, do this right now? Depending on how you're doing that, that might be something that needs changing as well, because that's something to test when it comes to the nature of your headline, even though if you don't change the image and if you don't change the description. So that's the first step. What are the different elements of your ad, and what are you doing in terms of challenging the assumptions that you've been doing if you've been doing Facebook ads for a year, 5 years, whatever the case is. So that's the first step. Second is, what are the ad types? Most people don't know. Most of the ads that people create are just the link ad, a photo ad, or a video ad. The reality is there is actually a lot more types of ads you can do. And one of the types, especially for bottom of the funnel, that you should consider testing is there are messenger ads, specifically something called JSON. And what happens is that it looks like a normal link ad, but as soon as you click it, you go straight into a messenger bot campaign. That's something that might be worth your time. Another one, if you haven't done carousel ads, that's really good for objection handling and going through different scenarios of what the concern of a prospect might be. Or if you're doing testimonial ads, you can put different types of people there, and different people will react and naturally gravitate to different types of people that they resonate with. And so, there's JSON ads, there's carousel ads. Depending on bottom of the funnel stuff, we've seen Canvas ads do really well. If you're in e-commerce, there's something called collection ads, where you can have a video or a photo at the top with your products underneath it. The reason I'm bringing all of these up is because I want you to challenge yourself when it comes to the types of ads that you're creating, so you don't get into the rhythm of just doing those 3 ads. There might be opportunity that you might have a breakthrough at the top of the funnel or middle or the bottom when you're testing these different ad types to move people down to the next step of your marketing funnel. So if you've just been doing the 3 main types of ads, photo ads, video ads, or a link ad, these are different ads that you can test in the mix and compare the benchmarks of your original ads to these new ads, whether you're doing it at a cold level or retargeting at different steps of the funnel. So just to reiterate here, in terms of the 5th step of the ad method, there are things that you can test technically on the ad, which is the description, the media, and the headlines, but then also the ad types. Most people are just using those 3. Can you implement these different ad types and see the performance change, hopefully positively, in your advertising campaign? So that's it for this episode. See you on the next one.